Have you ever bought something and you just tuck it away? You just store it out of sight, out of mind. And you don't even know if it works or not. You don't even know if it would even meet your needs or not. You don't even know possibly how to even operate it. I've done it a few times. I really have. And last night I found a camp stove tucked away in the back of a closet that I've never used. It's probably 6 years old, and I just bought it on a whim, I guess, for a backup system, probably a backup to a backup system, but I never even tried it out. Now, I tried it out and made supper last night on it, and it works just fine. But I wouldn't have known that it worked just fine unless I actually used it. And so, wow, wake up call. Hello. Yeah, this is just something I need to share because we all fall trap. We buy things, and before we get to test it out, we might get distracted and we buy something else. Or we get distracted and we never come back to actually testing it or learning how to use it. It's a lot more potentially dangerous if it's something that's more complicated than a stove, let's say. Maybe it's like a tent system. That those can be actually fairly complicated depending on, the type you have. And if you've never even put one together, wouldn't that be horrible if it was like a really serious disaster and you were forced from your home in the middle of the dark, you were forced to put this very complicated tent together for your family. And you look down in the bag and there's like 100 pieces. That would be not a good time to learn if the tent was in good repair, and if the tent would even meet your needs, much less to have to learn on the spot of how to even put it together. So just because we have the gear doesn't mean that we're actually prepared. And that's the part that people get tripped up on. Yeah, I got the stove, or yeah, I got the tent. But if you don't even know if the tent can be useful for you, and you may not even know how to use either item, is it going to actually solve the problem? I don't think so. So when you go through your biannual review of your gear, hopefully you do that. At the very least, a yearly review. Just go through everything you have, even if it takes a few weekends, and you break it up, which is fine. When you go through all your gear to see what you really have, and you take inventory, just to see if things are still good or not, and how many you have of this, and did you sneak into some of your stashes here and there, and you need to build things back up. Because I do it sometimes myself. I love peanuts, and sometimes I'll sneak into my peanut stash and eat them all. And so when I do my biannual review, I'm like, I don't have any peanuts. Surprise, surprise. But it's, this is the same thing. If you go through your review and you notice like, wow, this is a new item and it's still in the box, still in the wrapper, it's never been used, we got to get that out. Now, it makes a lot of sense if you have a lot of redundancies of the same item to maybe not use it on some level. But at least pull it out one time and fire it up or start it up or whatever it is. Just use it one time just to make sure it actually works and it's not defective. That's all we're talking about. You can clean it right back up, put it back in the packaging, and maybe mark on the box, test it on this date. At least you know that it's good to go. As always, hey, thanks a lot for your support. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section. Thanks for hitting the like button. If you have any ideas for future content for this channel, also leave that in the comment section. Hope everyone's well. You guys take care.